Namaskar, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this special press briefing by Foreign Secretary Shri Vikram Misri on the first official visit of the Prime Minister of UK, Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer. We also have with us on stage our High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Shri Vikram Doraiswamy, and we are also joined by Additional Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs, who looks after the United Kingdom, Shri Piyush Srivastava. With that, I hand over the floor to Foreign Secretary for his initial remarks. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Randir. Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining this press briefing. As you are aware, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer, is on his first official visit to India. He arrived in Mumbai early yesterday morning and was very warmly received by Honourable Governor Shri Acharya Devvrat, Honourable Chief Minister Shri Devendra Fadnavis, and the Deputy Chief Ministers Shri Eknath Shinde and Shri Ajit Pawar. Prime Minister Starmer is accompanied by a very high-powered delegation. He has with him the Secretary of State for Business and Trade, Right Honourable Peter Kyle, the Secretary of State for Scotland, Right Honourable Douglas Alexander, Minister for Investment, Mr. Jason Stockwood, and an unprecedented 125-strong business delegation. This is the largest ever business delegation from the United Kingdom that is visiting India. In addition, this delegation comprises 9 vice-chancellors of major UK universities, all of which have plans for India and are in fact already executing their plans for India. Yesterday, Prime Minister Starmer had a full day. He had several engagements with business leaders from India, participated in various events intended to foster collaboration between different sections of Indian and UK society. Notable among these are events related to the field of cinema. He visited Yashraj Films, for instance, to look at collaboration and cooperation in film production, and agreements were entered into for the production of 3 Indian films in the UK. He also participated in a football-related event with the Premier League of the UK and its activities here in Mumbai, in Maharashtra, in India. Besides, of course, having several meetings with business leaders from India. Today, in the morning, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi received Prime Minister Starmer at the Raj Bhavan for the official segment of the visit. The 2 leaders had wide-ranging discussions in restricted and delegation-level format to discuss bilateral, regional and global issues. Prime Minister Modi hosted a banquet lunch in honor of Prime Minister Starmer, and both leaders interacted with the vice-chancellors of the universities from the UK that I mentioned. And they have just finished a few moments ago a meeting with the reconstituted India-UK CEOs Forum. And as I speak now, both the leaders are participating in the Global FinTech Fest, visiting some key expositions, and both of them will deliver keynote addresses at the 6th edition of the Global FinTech Fest that is being held right here in these very premises. I think Prime Minister Starmer, if I heard him correctly, he called this a 2-parter. This is a double headed visit or engagement between India and the UK these past few months. The first part was Prime Minister Modi's visit to the UK at Chequers in July this year, when the historic free trade agreement, the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement between India and the UK was signed. and that is now followed up. The momentum generated by that visit is sought to be followed up by this return visit within a short period of time by Prime Minister Starmer's visit. Let me pick up on 3 or 4 key focus areas of this ongoing visit by Prime Minister Starmer. The first major area is obviously trade and investment. The free trade agreement that was signed in July is now undergoing the process of ratification in both the countries, and both leaders in fact remarked on while even as this process is going on, how excited the trade, business and investment communities in the two countries are at the prospects of the full implementation of this agreement. And in fact, much of the time yesterday between the business leaders of the two countries was spent on making plans for future investment, future trade cooperation between the two sides. So this visit has in fact given both sides the opportunity to discuss deepening their strategic economic engagement in order to derive the full benefits from tariff reduction under the FTA. As I mentioned, the first meeting of the reconstituted India-UK CEOs Forum has just taken place, and yesterday, in fact, the UK Secretary of Business and Trade and the Indian Commerce and Industries Minister took stock of the trade and investment relationship between the two countries, and also had discussions on the Joint Economic and Trade Committee, which has been reconstituted and will reset and determine long-term India-UK trade and investment relationship. This Joint Economic and Trade Committee will also support the implementation of the India-UK FTA. The leaders also announced new joint investments to boost the Climate Technology Startup Fund for supporting entrepreneurs in sectors of climate technology and artificial intelligence. And this will also help in supporting the FTA chapter on innovation, which also ties in with some of the initiatives that we are discussing under the Technology Security Initiative. Speaking of technology, technology and innovation was the second major pillar, I would say, that was in focus during the ongoing visit. This is a very important pillar of the bilateral relationship. You would be aware that during Prime Minister's visit, the progress that was made on this particular pillar and under TSI, very major announcements have been made during the ongoing visit with regard to the establishment of the India-UK Connectivity and Innovation Centre, the India-UK Joint Centre for Artificial Intelligence, and a critical minerals industry guild to secure resilient supply chains and promote green technologies. Both sides also agreed to launch Phase 2 of the UK-India Critical Minerals Supply Chain Observatory and the establishment of a new satellite campus at IIT, the Indian School of Mines in Dhanbad. A third very important pillar of the ongoing visit is education. Both the leaders discussed increasing collaboration in the education sector between the two countries. Indian students, as you might be aware, form the single largest cohort of foreign students in the UK. During the ongoing visit, the University of Lancaster and the University of Surrey were given their respective approvals for opening their campuses in India under the new education policy. So far, with this, there are 9 leading UK universities that have now received approvals for opening their campuses in India. This is literally a silent revolution in the field of education that is taking place under the NEP. And you might be aware that Some months ago, in July, Southampton University became the first university to actually open a physical campus in India and has already taken in its first cohort of students. So it was only appropriate that during this visit, there are 9 vice-chancellors or 10 vice-chancellors, I think, accompanying the UK Prime Minister, and both the Prime Ministers had the opportunity to engage with them and exchange views with them on this very important area of our cooperation. As I mentioned, both the Prime Ministers will be delivering keynote addresses at the 6th edition of the Global FinTech Fest, and this also serves to highlight the growing collaboration between the two countries in the area of fintech. And this was also a subject that was discussed at considerable length during the restricted talks between the two prime ministers earlier today. A fourth very important area of collaboration between the two countries, growing in significance every day, is the defense sector. And today's visit gave the opportunity to the two prime ministers to review cooperation in this sector, which has seen considerable expansion in recent years. As you might be aware, the UK Carrier Strike Group is currently off the western coast of India, exercising with the Indian Navy under Exercise Konkan. The two leaders discussed the possibility of collaboration in electric propulsion technology and the implementation of the Defence Industrial Roadmap, which was announced during Prime Minister Modi's visit to the UK earlier this summer. The two leaders also discussed cooperation in the maritime domain, including in the Indo-Pacific, and welcomed progress made in establishing a regional maritime security center of excellence to further our cooperation under India's initiative of setting up the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative. I mentioned earlier under climate and health cooperation, the launch of Phase 3 of the Biomedical Research Center program, the establishment of an offshore wind task force, and the signature of a letter of intent between the Indian Council on Medical Research and the National Institute of Health Research of the United Kingdom. Insofar as people-to-people relations are concerned, which are a very important and crucial area of cooperation between the two countries, the Indian origin community in the UK, which has been referred to by Prime Minister Modi as a living bridge between the two countries, forms a very important underpinning of this relationship. There is excellent ongoing collaboration under the Migration and Mobility Partnership Agreement that we have with the UK, and this is fostering collaboration in the field of youth exchange, skilling, and people-to-people ties. In conclusion, I would like to just mention that this is truly a partnership for the people. This is a partnership whose different features are translating into benefits for everyday citizens in both countries. It is bringing benefits to people in both countries, whether they be the youth, the students, exporters, innovators, entrepreneurs, businessmen, industrialists. The landmark free trade agreement between the two countries will foster the vision that India has of Viksit Bharat and power the ambition that we have of Make in India through investment and technology tie-ups. And the most important outcome of all of these will be in the area of employment by creating thousands of jobs for youth of our country. This is therefore a partnership for shared progress and shared prosperity. And as both Prime Ministers noted, it is particularly important that this partnership is being strengthened in a time of unpredictability and uncertainty in the world. At such a time, to have a relationship and a partnership between two countries, such as India and the UK, based on democracy and shared values, is a beacon of hope and certainty in an uncertain world. So let me stop there. We don't have a lot of time, but I'd be happy to take a couple of questions. Thank you.
Floor is open. Please do introduce yourself and your organization before you ask a question.
Anurag Joshi, ET Now. Sir, I had two questions. So, in his speech, the UK Prime Minister touched upon supporting India as a permanent member of the Security Council. How far is the United Kingdom ready to go in its commitment in supporting India? That's my first question. The second question is about the comprehensive FTA with the UK. During the talks now, during the visit of the UK Prime Minister to India, which would be the first sector both governments would be focusing on?
Yep. Saurav.
Good afternoon, sir. Saurabh from NDTV. Sir, during the Prime Minister's visit to the United Kingdom, I think the issue of Khalistani extremists came up, and that was mentioned in the briefing. Did it come up during this visit in the talks?
Mm-hmm. You have a question here?
I'm Ananya Gupta from PTI. Sir, are there any new areas of cooperation being explored, such as green tech, AI, or semiconductor partnerships between India and UK?
So you can take these questions.
Well, to Anurag's question, I think you've heard the Prime Minister. There's really not much more that I can add to it. Fairly categorical, I think, and we have received support from the United Kingdom insofar as our objective to gain a place as a permanent member on a reconstituted and reformed UN Security Council is concerned. The UK has been on the record several occasions in the past as well, and we very much welcome and appreciate that support. On the FTA and the sectors of focus, I think going by the discussions over the last couple of days, I would imagine that sectors such as artificial intelligence, in fact, the telecom, aerospace, defense, these are the areas that would be, I think, that are currently in focus. Cooperation in digital technologies, in financial technologies. I could see from the just concluded meeting of the CEOs forum that these are very much in play and the focus of the initial discussions between the two sides. So I would imagine that this would happen very soon. Under the forum that has been reconstituted, as well as the Joint Economic and Trade Committee, there would be meetings between businesses of the two sides that will actually undertake some of what you're suggesting, which is to identify regional and sectoral issues that are also barriers to trade, and those would be also examined over the next 3 to 6 months. We also have issues related to some thematic issues, such as those relating to government procurement, to trade facilitation, to rules of origin, which will also be examined and concluded between the two sides. To Saurabh's question on the activities of Khalistani extremists, yes, it is a subject that had come up in the discussions in July. It was flagged again during the discussions held today, and Prime Minister emphasized that radicalism and violent extremism had no space in democratic societies, and in particular should not be allowed to use the freedoms or abuse the freedoms provided by democratic societies, and there was need to move against them within the legal frameworks that are available to both sides. The Prime Minister also expressed his deepest sympathies once again and his condolences at the Manchester attack, the attack that took place against a synagogue a few days ago in the UK. To Ananya's question of the new areas, I think all the areas that you have mentioned, green tech I mentioned, I also spoke about the discussions that have taken place under the climate tech pillar between the two sides, and also just going by the discussions that have taken place in the CEO's forum, semiconductors, artificial intelligence, digital technologies, financial technologies, these are all in focus at the present moment between business entities of the two sides.
We can take a few questions. Yes, please, there.
Sir, this is Soru from HNN. Which part of the country is likely to have these 9 UK universities? If you could elaborate on it.
This list, I can give you the list.
Sir. Oh. आपका सवाल है? Please.
Sir, I'm Yogesh from Doordarshan. Sir, after the first WAVE summit, we have seen the successful WAVE summit in India, and many countries have also signed MOU in different fields. So, sir, in Yashraj Films, we have also underlined that UK PM also visited Yashraj Films, and the CEO just wanted to know what are the any agreements or any things that were serious in nature in that point. Thank you.
आपका सवाल है? You have a question? Please.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर, कृष्णा ठाकुर फ्रॉम INS. संबोधन में सर गाजा शांति समझौते को लेकर भी बात की गई, और ये कहा गया कि ये जो पहल है वो एक अच्छी पहल है. प्रधानमंत्री ने भी इस गाजा शांति समझौते का जो है जिक्र किया है. उसको लेकर आप क्या कहेंगे, आगे किस तरीके की भूमिका रहेगी?
One last question, please. Yeah.
I'm Chaitanya from the Times of India. I had a question about the growing anti-immigration protests in the UK right since April of 2025 to now across different cities. Was it part of any discussion, because a lot of Indians working and living there, also students sometimes are affected by this?
Yeah, as I said, there are 9 universities: Southampton University in Gurgaon, Queen's University, Belfast, Coventry University, and the University of Surrey, all 3 of them in Gift City, the Aberdeen University and the University of York right here in Mumbai, both of them, and the University of Liverpool and Lancaster University, both of them in Bengaluru. We will put out a formal list of the universities and their locations on our website as well. You can refer to this, but this is the information that I have immediately insofar as the UK universities are concerned. On the discussions with regard to the cooperation and collaboration on films and entertainment, as I mentioned, the Prime Minister, the UK Prime Minister, visited Yashraj Film Studio yesterday and had a very good discussion there. And in fact, he was shown a documentary on the 50-year plus, 53 years if I'm not mistaken now, of Yashraj Films, and he was struck by the fact that not only was it a history of Yashraj Films, but it was through the experiences and the eyes and ears of the characters in Yash Raj films, it was in a sense a history of India, which was reflected through these films. But there was, as I mentioned, a specific understanding that has been reached to produce and shoot 3 films in the UK. Interestingly, this is a subject that was discussed at some length between the 2 prime ministers during their delegation level talks as well. And in fact, Prime Minister Modi made the suggestion that not only should we restrict ourselves to shooting films in each other's countries on the basis of the financial incentives or tax incentives that are made available, but actually try and bring people together by focusing on scripts that might have resonance and relevance in both countries, in both communities, by in fact engaging with talent, bringing acting talent, production talent, directing talent and technical talent of both countries together. And he reflected on the much greater appeal that such cross-cultural films and stories would have in both countries. And this was something that appealed considerably to the UK side, and we expect that some of these ideas will be taken up. गाज़ा के विषय में जो आपने प्रश्न पूछा, जैसे आपने देखा होगा कल ही कुछ इस पे और प्रगति हुई है, जो जिन लोगों के बीच में बातचीत चल रही है, कायरो में कुछ बातचीत सब दलों के बीच में चल रही है, उसमें हमारी सूचना ये है कि कुछ प्रगति हुई है, कुछ बातचीत और अभी होनी है, लेकिन जो भी प्रगति हुई है आपने देखा होगा आज सवेरे सवेरे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने उसका भी स्वागत किया है। और हमारा जहाँ तक स्टैंड है, हमने शुरू से ये कहा है कि जहाँ तक इस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट का सवाल है, हमारी आशा है कि जो सभी बंदी हैं, सभी हॉस्टेजेस हैं, उनको रिहा किया जाएगा, युद्ध बंद होगा और जो सामग्री है, ह्यूमैनिटेरियन सामग्री जो गाज़ा में जिसके जाने की आवश्यकता है, उसका रास्ता खुलेगा। शांति के सभी प्रयासों का हम समर्थन करते हैं, शुरुआत से समर्थन करते आए हैं और हमारी आशा है कि आगे चलते बातचीत के स्तर पे, बातचीत के द्वारा इन सभी प्रश्नों का हल निकल पाएगा। और हमने हमेशा से, आपको ये भी मालूम है, एक 2 स्टेट सोल्यूशन का उसको हमने सपोर्ट किया है और आगे चलते जो भी इसमें अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पे प्रयास होंगे, भारत उनके साथ खड़ा रहेगा, उनका समर्थन करेगा। Lastly, to Chaitanya's question on the anti-immigration protests, and look, the issue of insofar as these protests etc. are concerned, these are at the end of the day issues that have to be addressed by UK authorities. They are a product of the dynamics operating inside the UK. But insofar as the issue of illegal immigration is concerned, it is something that is and has been a subject of discussion between the two countries. It was discussed between the leaders today as well. India has long made its position clear on this issue. We do not support illegal immigration, and whatever cooperation is required between any two countries, in this case between India and the UK, on addressing issues related to illegal immigration, we are in favor of that cooperation, and in fact that cooperation is indeed going on between the two countries. At the same time, what we are interested in and keen on is to support legal mobility between the two countries, because that is something that brings great return and benefit to communities in both countries. And it's in pursuit of that that we had the migration and mobility agreement between the two countries, which is working well. and which is delivering results for both the countries. Thank you.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the close of this press conference. Thank you very much for your presence.